Welcome everybody, Mr. Gamer Guru 13, back again with another installment of Games for Less. This is installment number 2, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on Craigslist. Now this Games for Less series that I'm doing is going to be a series of how you can find games for less. I'm going to be giving you the tips that I know personally that I use to get cheap games, to get good quality used games, and to load up on your collection for great collection purposes and for gaming purposes. Lots of games out there that I haven't played still that you can find for very cheap. And today's segment is going to be focused all on Craigslist. I'm going to show you some deals that I've gotten on Craigslist, some of the games and what prices I paid. I'm also going to be telling you a little bit about Craigslist and how to use it. So the reason I feel Craigslist is such a great resource for video games is because it's in your area. It's in your town. It's right next door to you. You can click and find wherever you are located in the United States and even outside of the United States. You can find a gaming or anything on Craigslist that is in your town. Now, if you go through other places like Amazon.com, eBay, Game Gavel, certain things like that, although Game Gavel is a great auction website and I support it 100%, but most of these sites charge a shipping fee, and the shipping fee is usually $3 because people want to get as much money as they can because they also have to pay eBay for, if they put up a buy it now sticker or if they put up a certain amount of days, or they want to put pictures on their own pictures. They have to pay eBay and Amazon for all those special things that they're going to do. So there's always, the shipping is usually minimum of $2.99, and then it goes up from there. So what's great about Craigslist is you can find these games in your town, drive 15 minutes probably at the max a lot of the times, and you don't have to pay any extra money for shipping. On eBay you can buy a game for $1.50, let's say an old game that you want to play for $1.50, and it comes out to $5 because of the shipping charges. And on Craigslist you have none of that. There you can have people ship it to you, but it's best if you go and pick it up. Now let's get into the first deal. That was my best deal I've ever made on Craigslist. All the games have been tested and run perfectly, except for the first two. I don't have a working Nintendo Entertainment System, original Nintendo Entertainment System, so I haven't been able to test the two games out, the first two games out that I'm going to show you. But I ended up contacting this kid. He was selling Saga Frontier, and he was trying to get some money because he was going on a trip for Oregon. So I called him up, started talking with him. And one thing you want to do is just be very personable and very nice. Let them know you're a collector. Let them know your interests so they know, kind of get on common ground with them and make it easy for them to make the sale. But also when you're making it easy for them, you might get lucky and they might think that you're a nice guy and decide to give you a deal. Well, that's what happened in this case. This kid had to have his mom come out, drive him out, and he ended up coming out to me, which was awesome. I didn't have to drive that far. We probably met maybe halfway in the middle. But he gave me 9 games for $35. And I'll show you the games here. The first two are NES games. First game is Zelda. This is A Link to the Adventures of Link. So this is the first. No, excuse me. This is the second Zelda for the NES. Now, by the way, I just paid for Saga Frontier, and I think Saga Frontier and Grandia are the two that I paid for. Everything else he just decided to throw in for free. He started going through his game collection and picking stuff out that he didn't want and giving it to me. So the next NES game made by Capcom is Willow, and I haven't played this. I really am looking forward to playing it. I heard it's a great game. I want to review it, but I need to get a working Nintendo Entertainment System before I can do some NES reviews. The next game he gave me was Castlevania for the Nintendo 64. Works perfectly fine, great condition, just a little smudge or so. Next game, I had this game, but obviously, or not obviously, but back in the day, I used to trade in all my games and sell them. So this is one of the ones I had traded in. But you can't have an N64 collection without GoldenEye 007. He threw that in for me, and then he also threw in Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, the best Zelda game in my opinion. We'll see with the new one coming out, Skyward Sword, but I think Ocarina of Time is one of the best Zeldas ever made. Then he had some PlayStation games that he had. This one unfortunately comes without a case and without a manual, but Breath of Fire 3, it's got the disc, you know, I can still play it. It's a little scratched, but it works. I have tested it out, and it definitely works. Next game, I think this is one of the ones I paid for, but it's Grandia. And unfortunately, now he had a bunch of cracks in his cases. So what I do when that happens is I just get myself another case. And you can pop these out. You can pop this part out right here, and then you take the back art out and you can put it in a new case and clean it up a little bit. This came with both the discs, just without the manual. Unfortunately, no manual, but I can't complain. I got all these games for 35 bucks. Next game is Saga Frontier. Now this game had a huge crack in it, so I just decided to switch out the case for it. Gosh, this is kind of there. I just decided to switch out the case for it, but still, Black Label, Saga Frontier. I haven't played any of the Saga games. I'm really looking forward to getting into those as well as some of these older games. Next game he gave me for free was Saga Frontier 2. Now, it has the back art, but if anybody has the manual, let me know, because I do need a manual for Saga Frontier 2. And then the last and final game is Incomplete, but you can't go wrong with a Black Label Xenogears. All it needs is a manual and disc 1, so I am constantly on the hunt for a manual and disc 1. It has disc 2 in good condition. He just didn't have the manual, so he threw this in. I thought, if I sit on this for a while, if I find myself a manual and disc 1, I can pop this on Craigslist myself and flip it. So the next deal I got was, the next Craigslist buy that I did was a guy who was selling a bunch of PlayStation 3 games and Xbox 360 games. And he was out in Everett, so I went over to his home. And I ended up paying I think $62 was the total. The first game I went out there for was Enchanted Arms. This was a $7 game. This is usually $14 for the PlayStation 3, but I got this for $7. That's what he was selling it for. And this is what I'm playing right now, and I will be doing a review of this. So far, I really like it, so I'm not understanding, again, the scoring and the ratings that it got. But then I started looking around, and I was on his front porch, he gave me the game, and I kind of peeked in, and I saw buckets and buckets of games. And he just had tons of games, so he pulled them all out for me, and I started looking through, and me being the collector, I could not get out of there with less than 2 more games. I had to give him the money and purchase these games. He also threw in an Xbox One original Xbox controller for my Xboxes that I got for free from that store, and the power cords and the AV jacks. So that was great too. And as I was looking around, I found Valkyria Chronicles for the PlayStation 3. Haven't played it yet. I will be doing a review on this, don't worry. As soon as I finish and play it. And that game was, I think he sold that to me for like 20 bucks. And then the last game, which is awesome for me as a collector, is the Metal Gear Solid 4 Limited Edition Collector's Edition. Now this pops off here like so. It comes with the regular Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. Then it also has a Blu-ray DVD, so that is very interesting and cool, and I thought this would be a great collector's piece. Now all 3 of those games were a total of $62, which I'm sure buying this was 80 bucks when it came out. So that was a deal there. Got a deal on this, and Enchanted Arms I got $7 off, and I got some free power cords. Again, it just never hurts to ask. Ask somebody what they think, or what they have, or what else they might want to bundle with this. And on Craigslist, a lot of the times people are willing to get rid of stuff. They're cleaning out all their games that they've had. And then the last deal I got on Craigslist was just recently, and it was a free deal. Some guy was selling a bunch of games, and one of the games on there only had 2 discs with it, but it came with the original case and the manual. So I'm still searching for disc 1. So again, if anybody has disc 1 for Blue Dragon for the Xbox 360, I'm looking for that as well. And I won't hesitate to pay for it. I just won't pay more than $5 for it. So pretty much, you know, this was free. He gave this to me free because it was missing disc 1, but you can find great deals out there and then piece your games together as well. That is another great way of finding games for cheap and collecting games. And just over a long period of time, if you have a lot of games to play at the time and you're not looking for something you want to play right now, if there's some deal out there, like a free game with 2 of the discs already complete with the manual and the original case and cover art, definitely pick it up, and then try and find. It shouldn't be too hard to find the other disc later, whether you have to pay for a cheaper version of the game with only, you know, the first 2 discs or whatnot. But so I am looking for disc 1 of Blue Dragon. Anybody out there who has it, let me know. If you're in the Bothell, Seattle area, definitely let me know. So those were some of my Craigslist finds recently, and just to wrap up, Craigslist is one of the best places I feel to find games for less, games for cheap. Going through the auction process on eBay or Game Gavel sometimes can be frustrating, and it's hard to always get the best price. Sometimes you feel like you're getting a good price, but you're really not. And sometimes these people that are selling on Craigslist ask you to offer them a price. So throw out your lowest price and see what they say. It never hurts to go low. And if you have to come up a little bit from there, you're still going to get yourself, if it's in a good range, you know, do your homework, do your research, what the game can sell for, what the game retailed as, and then get yourself a price point on what you would pay for that game. And don't go above that price point, but a lot of the times you will find on Craigslist there are some very good deals out there. So this has been an installment of Games for Less. This was installment number 2. Please rate and review my videos, comment, anything you guys want, and subscribe if you'd like. I'll be coming out with some more videos real soon, but for now I'm taking a week break. I'm going on vacation. So I will be back on Wednesday, and hopefully I'll be able to put out some reviews soon thereafter. So let me know what you think of the video. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, ask me. I'll answer them. Alright, thank you guys so much. This was installment number 2 of Games for Less.